properly shape your eyebrows. Your eyebrows can really open up your face and create an illusion that you might like. You know, if you have a longer face, they can make your face look a little bit more proportioned. If you have a wider temple or forehead area, it can slim that down. There's a lot of things that you can do with just shaping your eyebrows. The first thing you have to do when trying to figure out how to shape your eyebrows is to determine what kind of face shape you have. And you can do this probably most easily by taking a picture of yourself and then just outlining your face. Face shape isn't as important as length and width when it comes to your face and defining your eyebrow shape. But it does help in determining whether your face is long or short or wide or whatnot. In order to find your length of your face and your width, it's important to know that your face is divided into 3 zones. So this area right here, from your hairline and top part of your head area to just under your eyebrow, is the superior zone. And then from under your eyebrow, just about your nose, is the median zone. And from just under your nose to your chin is the inferior zone. So in order to determine whether your face is short, long, or medium, you have to look at these 3 zones and how they sit in relation to each other. So for example, if you have a short face, that means that either these 3 zones are equal but smaller, or 2 zones are the same and 1 is smaller. It can be any of the zones. I just showed with my chin area, for example, but it can be any of the zones. Your forehead can be smaller than these 2. Your middle section can be smaller than your forehead and your chin. Any zone, but 2 have to be the same, 1 is shorter. And this will all be in the sidebar too. I'm going to write out what I've explained. For a medium face shape, all 3 zones are equal and of medium size. Saying that all 3 zones are the same, or like shorter, longer, medium, is kind of abstract, I know, but for the most part you can tell whether each zone is really long or really short or just about medium. I mean, these don't have to be completely accurate. You don't have to like get out a ruler, but it's just a basic guide. So for medium, 3 equal of medium size, or 2 equal and 1 longer. Any one, just like with having a shorter face, any one of the zones can be longer, but 2 have to be equal and 1 has to be longer. And then I have notes down here if you see me looking down, so don't forget to say anything. And so then for a longer face shape, none of the zones are the same. You know, this one can be shorter and these 2 can be longer and shorter. Nothing is the same. So that's how you determine what length of face you have. As for width, usually you can tell just by looking at your face shape which parts of your face are, you know, thinner or wider than the other parts. And this will really help with determining what kind of shape your eyebrow should have. In order to find the right shape for your eyebrow, it's also really important to understand the different parts of your eyebrow. So I'm going to show you. Okay, so we're going to start with right here on my eyebrow. This is called the body right here, and this is always the thickest part of your brow. This shouldn't be really thin, it shouldn't be like a pencil, and you're going to see why a little bit later. Or a pencil line, I guess. I don't think your eyebrow can really look like a pencil. So this right here, the body, is the thickest part of your brow. Right over top of where the body starts, right here, this is called the slant. And we'll also see how that can affect the shape of your brow and the illusion you give to your face. The highest point of your eyebrow is called the apex. Then right beneath it, this is called the heart. And I think it's because it makes like a little heart shape, that's what I assume. Under your eyebrow, this is called the curve, and this should always just gradually thin out, starting from the body, like I said, which is the thickest part, to the tail, which is right here, and this is just the end of your eyebrow, and this is going to be the thinnest part of your brow. And then the area in between your eyebrows, right here, is just called the starting point. And this can also affect how your face looks because it can widen close-set eyes or bring wide-set eyes closer together. So when you're shaping your brows, this is the basic way to find where your brow should sit on your face. I'm just using like a little brush, and you can use a pencil, you can use anything that's like shaped like this. So placing the pencil or whatever you're going to use next to your nose, this should be right in a straight line, and the top of it, right near the closest part to your eyebrow, this is going to be where the body starts. And then if you keep going out, drawing a line from your nose, the outside of your nose, to the outside of your eye. This should be where your tail ends. For the most part, for the most part, humans are made pretty proportional, so where your eyebrow line lies naturally using this method is going to be pretty close to what you're going to have to do anyways, but every now and then you can switch it up a bit. But every now and then you'll have to make some adjustments. And then to find the apex of your eyebrow, it's usually right outside your pupil. So now I'm going to talk about the different shapes of eyebrows and how it will affect the shape of your face and give a different illusion. We talked about the slant on the top of your brow right here, and this is going to affect the length and width of your face. Now if you have a shorter face and you want to elongate it, the best way to do that is to have a high slant, meaning that instead of going like straight across, it goes up. If your face is medium shaped, and so it's a little bit more equal, you don't need to widen or elongate your face, so the best shape to have for your face would be a slight slant. So if you see my eyebrow, it's not super up, it's not super slanted, it's more of like a gradual slant, and this won't change your face shape at all. And then if you have a thinner face that's less wide than it is long, and you want to make everything more equal, the best way to widen your face is to have more of a horizontal slant. So it would be slightly less slanted than my eyebrows are. So it would just kind of go right across. Another important thing to note is that when you're doing your eyebrows, when you're shaping them, from the body to the end of the tail should be a straight line. So the tail should end right in line with the body. Another way that you can add an illusion to your face using your eyebrows is with the placement of your eyes. To determine what kind of eye set you have, I guess, you can measure your eye and see if it fits in between your two eyes. If your eye doesn't quite fit, then your eyes are close set, and if there's more space than the length of one eye, then you have wide set eyes, and if it fits perfectly, then that's ideal. So in order to equalize where your eyes are placed on your face, you can change the starting point of your brows. So if you have close set eyes and you want to make them look a little bit wider, farther apart, you can pluck or tweeze or wax or whatever you decide to do slightly farther apart from your two brows in the middle there, and that will give the illusion that your eyes are actually wider apart. And then the opposite is true for wide set eyes. You leave a little bit more of your brow coming into the middle of your forehead area and where the starting point is, and that will give the illusion that your eyes are actually closer together. And now for the apex. The apex is also really important with shaping your face, especially your forehead area. So remember, the apex is the highest point of your brow, and if the apex is further along your eyebrow, instead of being like over here, it's over here towards your temple, that will widen this top part of your face, like the superior zone or your forehead area. So that's really good when, if people have like a pear-shaped face and this area has to be elongated. And having an apex above your eye, like right above your pupil or like cheek area, right there, is going to narrow your forehead, which, is great if the top part of your head is like a triangle shape. That's another face shape, more triangular. That will narrow the top part of your head and make it more equal with your chin area. Or it will give the illusion. It's not going to actually change your face shape, but it'll make it look like you have. Now as for the extremity or the tail, they're the same name. This will affect how long or short your face looks, much like with the slant that we talked about earlier. So say this is where my apex is here, and let's say that the tail goes very long. It's a longer tail. This will shorten your face shape. So this is best for people with longer faces. If the tail is shorter, let's say it goes to about here, that will give the impression that your face is actually longer. And then for people with medium-sized faces, you just have a medium length to the tail, and this doesn't change anything.